Hello, this is Suzanne Hamilton, Managing Broker with RE Home Source in Orland Park, Illinois. Today I'd like to talk about inspections, home inspections, but more specifically, expectations for home inspections. It's very important that both the buyer and the seller have the correct expectation in order to ensure that the transaction goes further than the inspection. The inspection happens within the first week of the contract. Most contracts do have a deadline or a date in which the inspection has to be done. Most of the time, you can extend that by a few days if you need it, but it's important to the seller to know that the transaction is going to go beyond the first week. Otherwise, they're wasting their time being off the market. So within the first week, you're going to do an inspection. Based on the contract that I use and most realtors use in the south suburban area of Chicago, the inspection has to be done by a certified licensed inspector, licensed with the state of Illinois. Other areas may have different contracts and different requirements. If you're intending to ask for any kind of repairs from a seller, you need a licensed home inspector. It can't be Uncle Joe. It can't even be a contractor. It has to be a licensed home inspector. That's per the contract. If you want a contractor to do it, then you should have that written into your contract or an amendment done because you want to make sure that you have the ability to ask for repairs. If you don't get a licensed certified inspector, you will not be able to ask for repairs per the contract. So, buyers, what do we need to understand about inspections? First of all, we cannot inspect that houses are going to be perfect. Houses are not a pass-fail for inspections. The inspector is going to go through every single component of the home. They're going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. They're going to tell you what are repair issues, what are maintenance issues, what are improvement issues. And they're going to tell you that so that you know what the potential for you having to fix things are, or what potentially you can ask for repair. Okay? You need to also understand that the seller is not obligated to do anything. Inspection is negotiable, but it's also a contingency on your contract, and it protects your earnest money. So if something happens that you cannot resolve with the seller, that these are repairs that are needed, and they don't negotiate with you or they're not going to do it, you get out of the contract, you get your earnest money back. The only thing you wasted was time and the inspection money, which is on you. Buyers do have to pay for their own home inspections or any other inspections they do to a home. Okay, sellers, let's be reasonable. Your house isn't perfect, no. But you have to be reasonable, and you can't get feelings hurt. Okay, a lot of sellers look at inspection lists and say, oh my God, what do they expect? Well, they expect that they're not going to have to pour a lot of money into a house, especially depending on what the sales price is. If they have a very low sales price, they should be expecting to do some repairs. But if they're paying a higher sales price or full retail value in that particular market, don't expect them to buy a house and have to do a lot of work to it. A house should be in good working order. That doesn't have to mean perfect, but it should mean good working order. As the seller, a lot of times you won't even know of the things that are wrong. But you should be willing to either make repairs or give credits where credit is due. Okay, what are the roles of everyone in this? We talked about you need a licensed inspector. Of course, we have the buyer and the seller. Typically, if you're in an area that attorneys are used, the real estate attorney will discuss with sometimes the agent and the seller or the buyer what they want. What is a repairable item? The terms of the contract are important. You're not going to ask for cleaning. You're not going to ask for gutters to be cleaned out of leaves. You're not going to ask for furnaces to be cleaned. That is a maintenance item. Maintenance items are not part of repair. It's not a repair. That's maintenance. It's not an improvement. Maybe a house doesn't have gutters, and the inspector says, I recommend you get gutters. That is not an improvement. Now, The seller may negotiate for that, but it's an improvement. It's not a repair. Repair is the key word. Something that's working, supposed to be working this way, but doesn't work this way. That's a repair. So the attorneys get involved if you're in an attorney state. If not, the agents negotiate it and say, okay, what will you take? There's a couple of options here. The seller might say, look, I don't have the money to make any repairs, but I will give you a credit at closing so that you can make the repairs yourself.